Hey, Steph. Shane Young with Four Sports. Just curious, when you're this deep into the playoff run, or a playoff series, I should say, how important is it for that mid-range creation that Andrew Wiggins gives you?
It's important what everybody gives us. I think there's adjustments from game to game um, that you either prepare for or you kind of meet head on in the middle of a game. And you need everybody's skill set to create space, to create flow, create good shots. And to your point, need, Wiggs to shine when he's attacking the basket or when he's, taking a one-on-one matchup, with space to be able to, get a good look and keep the flow, and the momentum our way. So there's a reason he fits well with what we do and has a specific way of impacting the game for us on both ends of the floor, but obviously offensively as well.
Anthony, on your right.
Yeah, you were in the back of the room just listening to that last Clay answer. What was your perspective on that plane ride?
I mean, after whatever it has been, 10, 11 years, there's a lot of stories and a lot of comedy on a daily that we could talk about. But all the personalities are so different. Everybody comes from different backgrounds, but we've all gelled around a collective unit of how we do things, and whether it's in the locker room, on the plane, the hotels, like whatever it is, we know how to have fun and gel and keep things light, but also understand what we're trying to do and why it all matters in terms of winning games. So Clay has a great way of explaining that, though. I just love his perspective on a lot of things.
Michael up front.
Steph, has anything surprised you about Andrew's postseason run, just from the perspective that coming into this year, he'd only played in one playoff series in his entire career?
It's amazing what you do with opportunity. And take away the comparisons and the narratives around him as a number one pick and what everybody wanted him to be and what, his first 6 years in the league looked like. There's a reason, we wanted him here. There's a reason that trade made sense for us. And there's a high hope that he would be able to figure it out at this level in terms of taking his scoring ability, his athleticism, his defensive potential, just taking it to another notch. And there were bright spots that first year, even though we only had, I think, maybe 10, 15 games, whatever it was. And then last year, taking another stride in terms of his consistency on a daily basis to this year where he's an all-star starter. He's shining on the brightest of stages in the playoffs. And you can tell how much he's enjoying it. And it's just amazing to see things working out in his favor in terms of kind of dispelling all the narratives around him and who he is as a basketball player right in front of your eyes.
On your right in the front.
Steph, as someone who's been a Red Sox fan, you kind of embodied in a lot of ways the same stature in San Francisco that David Ortiz embodied in the city. When you were watching that team as a younger man, did you take anything from the way he carried himself and the way he interacted with the city that has been part of who you've been in a similar role?
I wouldn't necessarily say I learned. I was just inspired by it. Like you said, Seth Curry's the big Yankee fan. I'm the big Red Sox fan. And growing up in North Carolina, like I didn't get to come up here ever to go to games or anything, but you just watched and enjoyed the history and just those iconic moments that Big Papi was always a part of, even the championship moments, and the way that he was kind of an ambassador for the city, a spokesman for the city, and just the I guess the reception and the chemistry he had with this town. So all of that is inspiring for sure. I have my raver of a bachelor party at a Red Sox game for, back in 2011, and I got to come, go to 2 games in the inter league series against the Cubs, and I got to connect with him for the first time and meet him. He gave me a bat. Got to go into the depths of the Green Monster and just see like just the atmosphere and what the culture that he was trying to continue as an iconic Red Sox player. So all that stuff mattered, and it was just dope to have that kind of come full circle for sure. And pretty special career, obviously, that he had.
Cassidy in the back left.
Steph, Kerr was basically saying that he doesn't know how Clay has the success as Game 6 Clay. How do you see that from Clay and how he has these moments? And given how Draymond said that he expects you to be livid heading into this game, do you feel like you can channel to having Game 6 Steph?
I will in no way infringe upon that nickname for Clay. I'm just going to do my job and try to help us get a win, enjoy what that would actually mean. But Game 6 Clay is, I don't know how he's been able to do it. Like just his personality, no moment's too big for him in terms of just hooping and enjoying himself and embracing hostile crowds, or if we're at home, enjoying the home atmosphere. Obviously, the OKC game is the one that's at the top of the list in terms of how much that meant individually and for us as a team to come back in that series. So he has a knack for those type of big moments. It just so happened to be Game 6, and he has another opportunity to add to that tale tomorrow.
Al in the middle.
Al Sarasovic, San Francisco Examiner. Steph, you're one win away from a championship. How do you balance the magnitude of that moment with the need to remain focused and calm and play another basketball game? And what kind of advice might you be giving to some of the other younger teammates who are facing this for the first time, perhaps?
Thankfully, I think having been here 6 times and been in a lot of different closeout type of opportunities, you just understand what the nerves are like. So you can rely on that experience for sure. We understand the specifics of how we need to approach the game from a physicality perspective, our game plan adjustments from Game 5 to Game 6, understanding what the building is going to feel like, and that energy and being prepared for it. So you got to remind yourself of that as much as you can before the game starts. But at the end of the day, once you get out there, you have to just be in the moment. You got to be, present as much as possible, not worry about the consequences of a win or a loss. Because all the only opportunity you have is that 48 minutes. And the more you can kind of trick your mind into just being in the moment and staying there, that's the best advice I can give anybody in that situation. Because it's going to be the hardest game you probably ever played in your career because of what the stakes are.
Monty, last one on the right side.
Stephen, with all the back and forth going between the fan bases and, T-shirts here and chants there and so forth, are you able to, what do you make of it? Do you enjoy it? Do you feel it's amusing? How do you see all that chatter going back and forth?
I'm the petty king, so I know all about everything, and I use it as entertainment and just have fun with it, because the more you're on the stage, the more you realize the attention that's on you, how much it means to each fan base, how much it means to the cities. So you can't really be surprised by anything, because there's a lot at stake when it comes to winning championships. And I think maybe back in the day, the first 2 years, maybe kind of things catch you off guard just because it's so new, and you're wondering how all these narratives kind of come up, or all these distractions pop up here and there. But I think the more that you get into these environments, the more you use it as entertainment and fun. And embrace it, because honestly, you wouldn't want to have it any other way, knowing that you're on this stage and you're playing for something that really matters to a lot of people.
Thank you, Steph.